Hey guys, it's Jim from JAGfx.com. It's been a long time between videos. So I have been promising for the last few weeks in the Facebook group that I would be doing some. As most of you know, a couple of weeks ago I sort of said I'm just backing off on the trades a bit. I was getting a bit too carried away with doing multiple methods, etc. I'm just going to concentrate at this stage on the high probability and the mod MACD method. The mod MACD method is the bonus system that comes with my basics book, and the high probability method is obviously from the book of the same name plus the Divergence book. So that book's basically the same, but it just expands on the method with the use of Divergence, obviously. So I've set up about 14 charts on both for now. I'm going to increase this. It's just not enough for my liking. And these are on the daily charts, both systems at this stage. Like I always say, you could trade them on any time frame. Look, I'm not a huge fan of the smaller time frames like the 5 minute, 15 minute or anything like that. And a lot of you probably know that I'm a huge fan of the 1 hour charts, but as you know, they are hard work. So what I mean by that is you can get in the trades, but you could be still looking at it a few hours later. Now, I don't know what your lifestyle's like or anything like that, but to me, you know, it might be, you might take a trade 4 hours before you go to bed and it might just go sideways for 4 hours. You know, I don't know. It's not, unless you're a robot or you have a trading team or you're quite happy to sit in front of a computer all day, that's fine. But for me, not at this stage. So basically 4 hours and above, and if you were on say MT5, you could look at some of the other time frames they have on MT5, like the 6 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour, etc. Or you could use the period multiplier custom indicator I supply in the Facebook group on the MT4, but it is a bit has an effect on your computer resources, so just be careful of that. So I've got the 14 pairs set up. This is the high probability, so I'll just go through. I've got to get back on the groove of these videos, so this might be a bit scratchy, this one. Just see how we go. I'll have a look what's set up and what we're looking at. Just it's a good reminder for a few of you guys too that might just forgotten a few of the rules or not sure what certain things are. So we'll just run through a few charts here. As I said, they're all daily charts. So here we have the Great British Pound US dollar. When I mark a grey line like this, vertical line, all it's telling me is there's something happening. Like down here, there's a dot on the MACD Platinum, so I'd be looking to buy. We haven't got a QMP green dot as yet, and I've drawn these lines in preparation for possible divergence. So possible bullish divergence with price going down and MACD going up, that's divergence. There's a difference between the way price is going and the way the MACD Platinum's going. So there's nothing happening at the moment, we're just waiting. Let's go to USD Japanese yen, the yen. All right, this is one of my painful trades. Just ignore these other trade lines. I must have something else going on there. So I took a sell on any red vertical line and the red horizontal line. That's my sell in that area there. I took a sell for whatever reason. It's gone against me, and as I don't trade without a stop at this stage, which I'm going to change, I've taken a hedge buy. So at the moment, I've locked in a loss between that red line and that blue line. So at the moment, I've got two positions the same size, just waiting for a new sell signal. And what I could probably do here, I've probably neglected to do, just don't want to interfere with any of these, start drawing a few lines just in preparation, see prices going up and the MACD is going down. So there's a possibility of further divergence, bearish divergence forming there, both going the opposite ways. So what I'm looking for now is this to roll over to the downside, new sell signal. I'll go with, on this one, I'll go on 0.06, and hopefully it'll give me a break even somewhere in this level, depending where it rolls over. So that's the plan. So just waiting, locked in a loss at the moment, so I can't lose any more other than overnight interest rates or swap. Aussie US dollar. This is not a trade I'm in, this is a trade I called in the Facebook group. Just nominated as a good buy trade on this level here. It went against me for a little bit, but it's now heading up nicely. You'd have to be a bit aware that the MACD's now gone through the 0 level, but it looks like it's going up at a nice angle, and that's a pretty strong bullish candle at the moment. You can see my notes on the chart here. There was bullish divergence there. You can see that the MACD was below the 0 level. So now, if I was in this trade, I'd be putting in a stop somewhere to protect this, maybe under these lows here, or even just under the lows still here. At this stage, there's no reason to do anything. You'd be looking at taking it up to the MAs at least, and maybe taking half off the table and placing a stop at break even, something along those lines. But it's a good setup and it's looking good at the moment. Euro pound. A bit of a dog's breakfast this one. We had a sell followed by a buy, hedge buy, then another sell, and that's, you can see the sequence on the right here. Little stops yet. That yellow dashed line is my overall break even. It touched it, but I was probably asleep or in bed then and missed it. And to me, there was no reason to close it out anyway, because MACD is still heading down. It looks like it's turning now with the candle going up, so I might be taking another hedge buy and looking for another sell. We'll just see how it goes. But yeah, it's a bit of an ugly chart, the old euro pound sometimes. So we're in 3 trades there. Let's go. Canada, Japanese yen, Canadian Japanese yen. Again, nothing at the moment. Price is at the 240 LMA, which is a grey MA here. I've drawn the red trend lines in anticipation of possible bearish divergence. MACD's going down, price is going up. So, but at this stage, price looks like it's heading up, so we just have to wait. Patience. Aussie, New Zealand. All right, here we go. This is the one, this second sell trade I got in this morning. And about half an hour later, New Zealand news come out and it went the opposite way, as you can see. Big, nice bearish candle, got all excited about that. Sell signal, price is well above the MACD. You know, even the MAs, technically they're still in a downtrend, even though they're flattening and tightening. But not to be, it's gone against me. So I've had a first sell here. I missed taking a hedge buy for whatever reason. So I've just taken a second sell. Got no protection to the upside at all here, which is not really that good. And there's my overall break-even level. It's not that far away, but at this stage it is now. So, but the thing I like here, we're still, MACD's a long way above the 0 level. And what happens is normally, if you've read the books, you know that I always speak about this being a bit of a rubber band where it gets pulled back to the 0 level. I'm certainly not saying that it'll definitely do that, but it's it's not highly likely, but it's more likely than it's not. But time will tell. At the moment, in a bit of pain there, but we'll just see. Euro CAD, euro against the Canadian dollar. Another one that's causing me some grief. I'm in trades on this one. Took a buy, took the hedge sell. I took another buy in here. You can see the it was on divergence, bullish divergence, and it's still, that bullish divergence is still valid. And even here, so I've drawn this aqua blue. If I draw an aqua blue trend line, it's just normally a trend line I'm looking at. The buy signal is still valid, even though price has gone against me. Here's my overall break even, just above that second entry there, second buy entry. Now I've got a blue dot on the MACD Platinum, so yeah, you could be tempted to take another buy, but I'm glad I didn't, because look, price has already dropped down again. So what I'll do is I'll try and wait for a clean break of this trend line to the upside, and I'll look at taking another buy, probably about the same size as the second one, 0.06, and we'll try and take it up then. But at the moment, yeah, look, that was a decent enough trade as a standalone trade, that second one, but this just hasn't worked out. Sometimes it happens when you're going against the trend. Oh, well, when I say that, trend's falling away, but technically the MACDs are still up, again flattening and tightening up, so possible trend reversal. Oh Jesus, I'm not having a real good run here, am I? Pound, Canadian dollar. Similar, we've got a buy, we took a sell, we took another buy in here, which is good, and I did take a third sell trade, it would have been on the breakaway trend line. I'll just draw this trend line. I'd say it would have been in there somewhere, possibly. So just when it nudged up there, the MACD's rolling up, you see, and I thought I'll just get in here again, add to it. Brought my break even down to here, overall break even. And when I say overall break even, that includes a sell trade, so it's all trades. But not to be. Price has dropped away as the pound's showing some weakness across the board, so I just moved my trend line across a bit. So it just gives me something else to look at. Again, this buy signal is still valid. And look at the MACD heading up. You could possibly make an argument for it's like I guess a possible support level happening there. It's like it's not yet, but it's showing some sort of level there, and you could make an argument that's possibly even heading towards a divergence. I'll just show you what I'm talking about here. So from that low there, see price has come back down, MACD's going up. So we'll just keep an eye on that. If it comes through and breaks this trend line again, I might take another buy. So here we go. New Zealand, Canada, again it's a buy, sell, buy. So I took the buy, it went against me, so I took the hedge. Again the MAs are tightening up. It's come down, nice. There's a divergence, there's a divergence. So eventually this divergence will work, but you could, if you were just taking individual trades with a stop, you'd take that buy, you would have lost. You wouldn't have taken that sell because that's just a hedge trade. It's not, doesn't even qualify as a sell trade. But then this buy trade's not a bad trade at all, so you would take that. And now there's my overall break even. It's not that far away. MACD is still a fair way below the zero level, so that's all good. Right, Aussie Singapore dollar. Not much happening here. It's heading up. I did have a look at this buy signal here, but what threw me, even though there's nice divergence, just that the MACD was getting close to the zero level and prices wasn't that far away from the MAs. But in hindsight, have a look at it now. It's taken off, so probably not a bad signal. You're trading against the trend, obviously. Look at the MAs heading down and pretty steady, or even spreading a little. So it would have been a higher risk trade, but paid off if you took it. What are we in here? Gold. Took the buy, went against me badly. Took the hedge trade. Now, it's been a bit funny lately, gold. On a daily, normally it's a nice trending market, but look at that. Previously, a lot of sideways action there. Here in these last 4 or 5 days, got these funny looking little ugly candles. Nothing really get excited about, but it looks like it's having trouble going much lower. I just wonder if just tighten it up a bit and have a look, see if there's anything on the left that's sort of, yeah, you could make an argument. If you look left there, this area here, come up, bounced off it. No, not really there, but certainly this area here. So this, where the red line is, the sell line is it's a fairly significant level when you just look back a bit. It's up to you whether you take that into consideration or not, but you just look for reasons why a market might be stalling or something like that. So at the moment, I've got a big loss locked in. So now just waiting on a new buy signal to the upside. MACD still below the zero level, so happy to take that. Aussie, Swiss franc. This one's a bit of a strange one. I don't know what happened here, but I missed, and I'm probably glad I did miss it. I took a sell trade. I had this nice little double bottom up here, and I did call, wasn't that impressed with it because of the MACD level. Then I took a hedge buy trade, so I got a sell and a hedge, locking in a loss again. Seems to be a real theme on this one, isn't it, recently? But anyway, I probably should have taken the sell here, the second sell here, and I'm glad I didn't. I don't know why I missed it, but sometimes I'm just not fully awake at 5 a.m. So at the moment it's turned up, and there's a possibility. It's all very flat. It's an ugly chart, don't get me wrong. But what I'm thinking now, if I get a buy signal, I could sort of, then that's no longer the hedge I'll take the bigger buy, and it'll hopefully, between the two buys, will cover that sell, if you know what I mean. So I'm sort of reversing my thinking on position here. At the moment, it is originally a sell. There's a hedge buy, and I should have taken another sell there, but I missed it. So now, if I get a buy signal, I'm going to take that, and so it'll be two buys and a sell then. Hopefully it'll happen, and I could show you anyway with screenshots later on. USD Swiss franc had a huge run up, and the MACD sort of rolled over, and I was patiently waiting for a sell signal, and it happened, but it's like it's a bit in no man's land. The only thing that sort of got me a little bit excited was, and I'm still sort of looking at it, is it's the double top sort of here, you know, like it's if you look left here, and we're going back to November last year, it's got to that same level again. That's a fairly significant level, but it just didn't do anything, and it's still meandering around here, and the problem is now the MACD's gone down through the zero level, but it's a big run up, and it needed some pullback. And you know, normally the euro and the Swiss franc sort of travel in opposite directions fairly consistently. Yeah, at the moment they're not, so one of them's got to give. New Zealand, Japanese yen. This one I didn't take a trade in. I called it. I nominated a stop level, which is here, which I would be now moving up to there. So this is one I did call. It was a nice. I didn't get the original entry. I missed that one too. I'm on a roll, aren't I? But I took the break of the trend line in here. I drew that trend line there, took the break of the trend line. That's how I call it. Now we're getting close to the MAs. MACD is heading towards the zero level fast. Get to that level, up to that 50 MA, because look, you know, they're heading down, even though they're not spectacularly down, but they are down. You might want to start looking at, say, maybe closing out half if you're in a position that you could do that, and possibly bringing up your stop to an overall break even or point of entry or something along those lines, because this can be a sticking point, and with MACD coming up towards zero level, it's a combination of things, just like clues. So it could keep on tearing up completely. I hope it does, but you never know. All right, that's it for the high probability. I'll switch over to the Mod MACD, same pairs. This is the Mod MACD system from the Basics book. Hopefully it'll switch over soon. Different coloured background on the template. I'll just remind you, because it's been a while since I probably discussed this. So what we've got is we've got the QMP filter. That MA there is a 25 simple moving average. This one's a 240 LMA, same as we use in the high probability. This is just a modified MACD. It's 612.1 is the settings, and it just gives you that sort of signal line, that's all. The other faint dotted line you can see is just a standard MACD, just a histogram. Not the histogram, 12.26.9. I just keep that one of those lines on there, just to give me an idea. Sometimes it just gives you a clue when trends changing. So the gist of this method is these green and red dots represent when it goes through the zero level. That's the main indicator. Through that zero level is your main indicator. This here is just a standard MACD with the histogram below, 12.26.9. Just gives me an idea what I'm looking at. So there is 4 criteria. You need a definite is you need a cross on this fast MACD, as I call it, and you need at least 2 of the others. So the other criteria is a QMP dot. So we'll use this as an example up here. So we're looking to sell here. We've got a red QMP dot, but the fast MACD is not yet crossed the zero level. So we've come down. Here we go. So it comes down. We've now crossed through the 25 SMA. It's closed on the other side of the 25 SMA. That's one of the criteria. And you look at the MACD down here, that's the other criteria. So that's just about in sell mode. It's close to it, but we haven't got a fast MACD through the zero level yet. When that happens, everything else is sweet, everything meets the requirements. We take the sell on that open of that candle there, and sticking point would be that 240 LMA, but it's broken through there and sort of, it didn't really stall there, but it got there pretty hard and sort of stopped for a little bit, but that's ground its way down. The thing about this method is it'll get you into a trade later, but it can also hold you in a trade for a lot longer. Like it gets a little bit messy in places like this here, but then you have to look at the other criteria, whether you be in or out, and eventually you would have got on this buy in probably about, I'd say, we're looking probably in here somewhere, and it's kept you in the trade easily. Yeah, up here, there's a reversal there, but you could have rode that up fair way. So this method will keep you in a trade a lot longer, but it'll get you in a bit later. So we'll just run through the pairs. There's not much happening here, so it won't take long. Nothing happening here. We're just waiting. All I do is look at the MACD, the fast MACD in the middle here. If it's not, look at this is USD Japan. There's your cross. Everything else is sweet. Pull back a bit there, but no worries. You would have got in here somewhere. Have a pullback about 100 pips, which is not much on the daily chart, and it's still going up, and it's 470 pips. So it keeps you in a trend a long time. As long as that's above the zero level, you stay in. Aussie, now we're getting close. See, I'm looking at I'll just make that bigger. This is getting very close to the zero level. The MACD down here is already turned up. We're close to the 25 SMA, close to going on the other side. Already got a green dot. So quite possibly if the Aussie pops up in the next few hours, there might be a new buy signal tomorrow if that crosses through there and is confirmed. So that's one that's just a quick heads up what I'm looking at. Here's one I called a few days ago. It met all the criteria. It was a sell trade on the Euro GP, Great British Euro Pound. I'll get it out. Hasn't gone well, but see, the fast MACD is still below the zero level. So while that's below the zero level, I'm not looking at really getting out. Now this could take off and I'll be in a world of pain. So you could put a stop in. It's up to you. But at the moment, I'm quite happy to just sit on this. Like I said, the Euro Pound. Sometimes I wonder why I trade it on the daily. It's one ugly chart sometimes. It's not too bad on smaller time frames, but the daily just does your head in. Let's go to the Canadian Japanese yen. I was in a buy here. I was doing a loss recovery thing. That's what that black dashed line was. So I took a loss on my sell, which was in this little red dot area here. Reversed to a buy. Went in with a bigger position size. That black line was, I went in with my sell trade was 0.2. My buy trade was 0.6. So once I got to that plus 59 pips, I closed out 0.4, which LR means loss recovered. So now I'm in a normal trade and it's going nicely. And so you can see we come in here and the fast MACD is still above the zero level. It's stalling at the 240 LMA, so I might just close this trade. I don't know. Yeah, I'll just Aussie New Zealand. Like it got us in the buy down here somewhere, as you can see, the last green dot on the fast MACD, and it's still got us in that trade. So that's it's good, 300 pips roughly. Euro CAD got us in a sell up here. Now we didn't get a red QMP, so we would have to wait till we got either the MACD, which is just a matter of the two lines going down and looking at the histogram, see it's very flat in the air and the two lines are really close together. Probably on the QMP dot I would have taken it, so you're still in that and it's 500 pips down the Euro CAD. So that's not a bad trade either. Now, Great British Pound, Canadian dollar, got us in a sell over here, just on the other side of the 25 SMA, went sideways a bit, but it's kept us in the trend, and it's 680 pips down. So, you know, and look at the last trade before that, it was a buy there, in there, and it got us up to here, you know, over 1,000 pips. These are the pairs you want, the big movers like the pound, Canadian, pound, New Zealand, yeah, that's where the system's great. New Zealand, Canada, even this has done alright, which is can be a bit of a dog sometimes. So it got us in up here somewhere, and it's still in, and it's 500 odd pips, which is a big move for this pair. Nothing happening at the moment, so like I said, it gets you in a bit late, but it keeps you in. Here's one identified a few days ago and told the group about, Aussie Singapore dollar. You can see the green dot here, so it's crossed the zero level. Already had the QMP. It didn't close on the other side of the 25 SMA, but the MACD was already crossed the upside, so I don't need all the criteria. That's the main one, and I need two of the others, two of the other three. So QMP, closing the other side of the 25 SMA, or the bottom MACD in with a trend. So we're at a buy at the moment, heading up nicely. No real reason to look at getting out. You could place a stop. Say, I would probably now be putting a stop in sort of this level here. If I could just draw myself in that area there, it's a terrible line, isn't it? Let's make it black. So in this area here, just a stop in that area there. Right, in gold, like I said, it's been travelling pretty ugly lately, but it got us in a sell somewhere in this area here, and it's got us down 426 pips, which is a fair bit on gold, which is good. At the moment, nothing happening. Aussie Swiss franc, now, like I said before, on the high probability, it's an ugly looking chart. You can see normally when these two MAs come together, the 240 LMA and the 25 SMA, like this, that just confirms it's going sideways and it's ugly. And you can look at the, I'll just make it a little bit bigger, look at the, it's just coming close here. The standard MACD is just going flat, it's dead set. You could probably draw some sort of channel in there if that was your thing. Let's move on to Swiss USD, Swiss franc, still rolling over slowly. The last signal was a buy on here, see that? There's your buy signal in here. And could you stay on that? What are you currently up? 600 pips, so that's a good little trend up there. Even the previous sell was gone from up here somewhere and stayed in all the way down to here. Two good trades. Don't worry about all the dots and that, just follow these ones. Just use the other filters. So at the moment, getting close to the zero level, the standard MACD's already turned down, already got a red dot, getting close to 25 SMA, so it's possibly setting up the next few days. As is this one, New Zealand Japanese yen. Took the last trade in this area here somewhere. It's now down a whole whopping 60 pips, been down about 150. So now we've got a green dot on the QMP, very close to the zero level. MACD's turning up and right on SMA. Traded up into that 240 LMA, that'd be the plan. So that's about it on the charts, guys. As I said, it's going to be a bit scratchy. I'm going to add more pairs. I'll probably take longer than I should have. Quick look at the news for the week. This is Forex Factory. I use their calendar, it's simple. You can filter it, so it filters, if I can show you where that is. You just go up, if you go up here, this little green icon, looks like a martini glass, I guess. Just press on that. You can choose what sort of impact you want. I just picked the red and the grey ones, which are just like holidays and stuff like that, things that may interest you. You can pick which currency pairs you want. You can pick sort of what sort of news items you want, so that you can personalise it a bit. So I just use the high impact ones, and you sort of look at Monday, which was today. There's that New Zealand news that caught me out, the retail sales, terrible figures. The left figure there is the actual figure, and as usual the old experts predicted 1%, and it coming at 0.1%. So these experts are sometimes not as expert as they think they are. But anyway, that's what caused all the grief on the New Zealand dollar, I'd say. Holidays everywhere, they're the grey ones, like I said. Then you look at tomorrow, it gives you a little green icon, what's coming up next for me, which is the pound inflation report hearings. It's high impact, and you can just run through it. It's really not that much retail sales. These things come out all the time though. A lot of talking heads, just minutes and speeches, people speaking. Normally on Friday, you get usually out of the UK, you get some news early, obviously because of different time zones. Then North America, US and Canada in the afternoon. So that's a bit it. Can't even talk. That's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry it's been so long between videos. I've got plans to sort of do these on a weekly basis just to keep everyone up to speed, and it's good for me too. So anywho, make sure if you haven't already, you're more than welcome to join the private Facebook group. There'll hopefully be a link below this video once I get it all up. And yeah, chat later. Cheers. Thank you.